Good afternoon, everyone. How are you? This is Enrique Sanchez, Spanish United. This afternoon, we have a very special guest. Would you be kind enough to introduce yourself to the audience, please?
Hi, yeah, my name is Luciano Alcorta. I'm one of the owners of Malbec Argentine Cuisine.
Perfect. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Oh, thanks for having us. My brother made joining us, but yeah, thanks for choosing us. Yeah.
It's my pleasure. So, I wanted to ask you, how long have you been in the restaurant business for? And tell me a little bit about your background and Argentine cuisine in general.
Sure. So we opened the location in Pasadena. We opened back in March 2008. So we've been in business for 14 years. I don't have a background in the restaurant business. My brother, he went to culinary school in Argentina and had restaurants there. And then he moved to LA 2002. So I've been in the restaurant business for 14 years. However, I used to work for an architect and we built restaurants as well. So we built restaurants from the ground up. And we went from day one on construction all the way to final inspection for health department. So I learned quite a bit through that process of how to build and design and open restaurants, which are not easy to open.
Okay. And what is the joy that you get in being a Hispanic business owner and also in reaching out to other Hispanics who want to do like set up a business like in food and whatever? Like what are the advice that you would give them?
Well, restaurant business is a way of life. You have to think on a very challenged small business. It's very challenging. I would say you need to have your mindset on how a restaurant life, which is awesome, very fulfilling at the same time, because you get a chance to meet different people from different backgrounds. They come and in a way enjoy your culture through food. So they get exposed to Argentinian food and our culture through the restaurant, which is for me, I find that great to be in America and to have the option on doing that. So we put a lot of respect to that chance that we get from living in the U.S. And we get obviously we also have the chance to show our food to different Hispanic communities, and which we love. Like we love Mexican food and all that. So we have a big community of them. So I think I'm very grateful on having the restaurant for 14 years and still going strong.
Awesome, awesome. Yeah, one of the things that we do in Spanish United is that we are a Hispanic civil rights organization, Hispanic First. So we've been around for about 3 years. What we do is that we help Hispanic people in terms of advocacy, civil rights, representation, and also we help Hispanics that are homeless, because there's many Hispanics in the area that are struggling financially. So one of the things that we do is that we try to be a beacon of hope to the community and also to educate people on their culture, because right now there is a how would I describe it, where there is like pressure to assimilate and to give up their culture. So I feel that by being for the community, I think it could also show that you could be American but also not give up your culture. So I think it's very important that Hispanics learn to, appreciate their culture, their language. And I think one way to do that is through food, because food is a universal language like mathematics is.
Yeah, true.
So it goes across the board, it transcends many things and whatever. And I also wanted to ask you about the Argentine Hispanic relations. Like I know that many in the Hispanic community sometimes they don't consider Argentinians to be Hispanic because Argentina is more European culturally, linguistically in many ways, even though they speak Spanish. So how would you relate that dynamic?
Well, I think we feel Hispanic completely. We feel like we have that passion that is very common in our cultures. I think we don't we respect too much our culture to kind of forget about that. It's very present in our life and the day-to-day life, the way we think, the way we live. We will never give that up. It's not only part of our culture, our past, but also how we communicate to our children. They were born in the US. My brother, who is a chef, has 2 kids, myself, 2 kids, and they were born in America. But Argentina is part of the culture. I mean, being here makes you feel more Hispanic than ever.
Hello?
To the amazing,
Okay.
yeah, to the amazing cultures that we have all around. I wish I could travel more, but the chances I went to that I had to visit Mexico, I'm always amazed. All the culture, the food. I never had the chance to travel the rest of Central America. I went to Chile, I went to Paraguay, and it's very unique on each country. We have different way of think, but also as different way of we enjoy the food and what kind of ingredients we use and all that is. And I think there's a trend to respect more that culture and our heritage. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I feel that Hispanics have a lot more in common than other groups because even though they're different countries, everyone speaks the same language. You know, regardless of if they're in Puerto Rico, if they are in South America and Mexico, and Central America, and even Spain. You know, everyone, in my opinion, is part of the same family, the same group of people. So I feel that Spanish United, what we're trying to do is unite all Hispanic people under one umbrella, regardless of where they're born, because I feel that as a collective, we could do a lot more for the community in terms of improving, in terms of reforming, and also the same time doing a lot of potential, not only for our country, but also for the Hispanic population in general. So I think, you know, we're trying to do our best. And I feel that reaching out to other Hispanics, especially like those in the restaurant industry, the business community, you know, to show that we are people that are educated, that are successful, that we can contribute, because that's one thing, you know, we kind of get stereotyped by that we take and we don't give back. So I think it's very important, you know, to show good representations of Hispanics that are productive, educated, that are business owners. And so that way people don't think that we're just one stereotype.
No, it's true. And I think there's a change, and I see more Hispanic being more entrepreneurial. So I think they are more willing to, I don't know, in a way, to run a small business is at risk. But there are more people getting into that and trying to see and push for something better in the future, even though small business is very challenging in America and mostly in California. There is I don't know, the fight that is worth to do when you have something in your mind that you want to accomplish, even though you may fight all your life to get it, or you may never get it. I mean, the fight is worth it.
Right.
Yeah.
I agree. And also another thing is that Spanish United wants to partner with other like groups, particularly like Hispanic restaurants, in terms of helping the community. So like one of the things I would like to do in the future, if you're interested, is that any like extra food or stuff that you want to like donate, that we could pass on to the community, we are willing to work with you in the future. I'm not sure if you would be interested in doing that.
Yeah. Obviously, there are some other areas that we need to cover and all that, but it's something that we would like to review for sure. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. And I also wanted to ask, what are your thoughts on Hispanic unity? Like, how can we go about and bringing Hispanic unity?
Well, I think through business will be which we do because of how passionate and I don't know, warm Hispanic people are. We tend to connect more. So we in a way we naturally go to other Hispanic business owner to run our business. So, for example, we have wine vendors, we have produce vendors, we have different companies we work with that a lot of them they're Latino owned or very influenced by Latinos and how we operate and all that. So that's a way to connect. I mean, it would be nice to have more presence on certain areas because it's hard to understand how some decisions are made at a higher level in LA, even though obviously it's a big presence of Latinos in the government, but sometimes there is a disconnection on business and politics. So
Right.
yeah.
I agree with you. All right, then I want to tell you thank you so much for being on the show. I know that it was a little bit late, but I'm glad you were able to come. Maybe later on we could do another podcast with both you and your brother. And as soon as I'm done here, I will send you the link and we'll definitely keep in touch. Muchas gracias por estar en el programa.
Okay. Yeah, muchas gracias, amigo.
Have a wonderful day.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye.